We're inside the cockpit of a C-5 Galaxy, and we're with the pilot, and it's Lieutenant Jim Garrigan. And Jim, we want to learn a little bit about you first, and then we'd like for you to tell us about this magnificent airplane.
Sure. Well, I began flying my career about 6 years ago, and I started learning in a little Piper Cherokee Warrior. I flew that for a couple of years, and then I got picked up by the Air Force Reserve in Delaware, and they sent me through officer training school and then through pilot training, where I flew the T-37 and the T-38, just like every other Air Force officer and pilot does. Flew those for a year, and then I transitioned over into the C-5 Galaxy, which we're in here today.
This is a big airplane. Is this the largest airplane in the U.S. Air Force or Air Reserve inventory?
Yes, sir. This is the largest Air Force airplane in our inventory. The Russians have one that's just a little bit longer than this, but this is as far as it gets, as big as it gets in the Western world for military transport.
We're sitting up here in the cockpit, and we have a magnificent view over the air show. How high are we, just as we're sitting there on the ground, how high are we?
Right here, we're 35 feet above the ground. The tail will strike at 60 feet above the ground, so we're right about halfway for the tail, 35 feet right here.
In terms of load, how big a load could you carry? And maybe give it to us in pounds, and then try to illustrate what that'd be like. How many Greyhound buses?
Okay, our max takeoff weight here, fully loaded with fuel and cargo and airplane, is 769,000 pounds. We can carry 8 Greyhound buses fully loaded. We can carry 26 limousines, full-size limousines. And we've carried as much as 8 helicopters in here at one time, plus a myriad of other kind of military cargo.
Now, not only can you carry a load down below, but there's a whole second story on this airplane, and you can carry passengers up here?
That's right. We have seating for about 22 people up front, and then in the back we carry 73 troops plus 2 crew back there to monitor in the back. And they all sit backwards, and we'll hopefully have a chance to see that in a little bit.
Yeah, and so you could carry roughly 80 people, something like that, plus all, in terms of Greyhound buses, all those Greyhound buses, full fuel. And if you were to leave right here at Grissom and you had that big load, how far could you fly?
We could probably fly nonstop here for the next 12 hours, which if we were going east would probably put us someplace into probably Egypt or Italy would be a good destination from here.
We're here at the Grissom Air Reserve Base, which is known for the KC-135s or refuelers, and this airplane has the capability of being refueled in the air. Is that correct?
That's right. We refuel behind the 135 and also the KC-10, which is its larger counterpart all the time. There are many more 135s in the Air Force inventory, so our chances of getting behind one of them and getting gas from them is real good.
So in terms of where you could go using the KC-135 as a big gas station, you could fly nonstop anywhere in the world.
Nonstop around the world, as long as there's somebody to give us gas, we could just keep on going.
Well, Jim, we appreciate you showing us around. We'd like to look through the airplane. I think you're going to give us a tour. How long have you been flying this airplane yourself, and where are you based at?
I've flown this airplane for about a year and a half, and we are flying out of Dover, Delaware, at Dover Air Force Base, and we're with the Air Force Reserve out there.
You're a full-time reservist?
I'm what they call a part-time reservist. Currently, right now, I don't have another job on the outside, but I'm flying pretty much full-time in the reserve.
Possibly looking at an airline career, maybe?
Down the line, hopefully with today's current climate, I think that should be coming hopefully shortly.